in facilities maintenance, there's many different types of valves that you will come across in a facility. So some basic valve types. On the left-hand side, you have a standard ball valve, followed by a gate valve, then the black globe valve, and then a one-way check valve on the far right. And there's different materials valves can be made out of as well. Also, relief valves. These come in different shapes and sizes, different pressure ratings, different temperature ratings. This kind looks familiar. You'll see this on every water heater. Pressure temperature relief valve. Some are adjustable, some are not adjustable. Now there's different connection types, and again different materials, from brass to stainless steel, PVC, CPVC, etc., nylon. On the far left you have NPT connection, which is national pipe thread. There's other thread types, but that's the most common one you're going to find here in the United States, followed by soldered or sweat. So basically you just stick your copper pipe inside the socket there on that ball valve, and you would solder your copper pipe to the valve, followed by what they call a T-clamp or sanitary connections. And there's a gasket and a clamp that goes around each of those flanges that you see on either end of the valve. Then the flanged valve, which does require a gasket and nuts and bolts or studs and nuts. In the bottom left-hand corner we have a compression fitting. So these you're going to find on your water shutoff valves, underneath the sink, behind the toilet, a water line, a refrigerator, etc. And basically the way those work, again, these come in different materials, but the idea is the same. You have your pipe or your tube, a compression nut, and a ferrule, and the valve has threads on it. As you connect the pipe or tube into the valve with the ferrule and then tighten that compression nut down, that ferrule is going to deform and create the seal. After that we have push to connect or a shark bite connection type ball valve. This works for PEX pipe, copper pipe, not PVC. It won't have the proper dimension to fit. Followed by socket weld, or like a glued socket connection, sometimes referred to as slip fittings. This picture shows a true union ball valve, and that's actually a three-way true union ball valve there. But the idea is the same. You have sockets that you can glue your PVC pipe into or CPVC pipe into. Make sure you're using the same materials. So if you have a PVC pipe, you want to glue it to a PVC ball valve. And lastly, barb connection. So there's barbs at either end of the valve, and you slide or push your flexible tubing over the barb and then tighten it down with the hose clamp. And then lastly, you'll also find in facilities socket weld valves and butt weld valves. So socket weld valve, you would stick your pipe, your steel pipe, into the recess in the valve that you see there and weld all around. Sometimes there's spacer rings you can use, because usually the pipe, you don't want it to seat all the way against the inside of the valve. You want it to have a little bit of a gap for welding. Same with butt welding. You don't want to have it smashed up all the way against the valve, your pipe. The pipe should be beveled. You can see the butt weld valve is beveled, and then you want to have a slight gap 16th or 8th of an inch gap, and then weld all the way around that seam. And then there's different actuation types. We've been looking at manual valves, but there's also solenoid controlled valves, pneumatically actuated valves, where air pressure opens the valve, and then also motor actuated valves or hydraulically actuated valves. So in this graphic, you see there's a pump, a hydraulic reservoir, a hydraulic actuator. There's high and low pressure lines, and then there's also on this one a hand operation wheel, and that's a butterfly valve that you see there. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment for future video topics you would like me to cover.